What happened?
There's a the sun's hitting
Oh,
outside and hitting me.
gotcha.
All right.
All right. Well, I am.
So there's one update on the I can't see a thing. Um, the Maker lawsuit.
Okay.
There's actually another lawsuit.
Oh,
Like
so we
that one
can
got dropped, but um, now there's another one.
another one in the middle there. Got it. We will discuss that when we get to that part. And I think I got all the notes here. Are you good
Yeah,
to start?
yeah. We're
Okay.
gonna do a quick one.
Yeah, we'll do a quick one.
Great.
All right. We will start in three, two, one. Hey everybody, it's Lon Sibin along with the lower speaking Tim Street. Today we're having some microphone issues, but we're gonna clean them up in. Hello.
Hello,
Oh,
I'm lower speaking.
whoa. Well, that
Yes.
that
Yeah.
just whatever you just did worked.
I don't know. I just said hello.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn you down now.
Okay. There, turn me.
Oh, turn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Enough of that.
you must have had some gunk in the microphone you had to clear out or something. So
Yeah, I did. I used one of those new flossing devices. It works great on your microphone.
just cleans out the plumbing. So well, that's good. That's one less thing I have to do in post production. So that is a good thing. So good to hear your voice, Tim. You're loud and clear, literally.
Awesome.
So we're going to do a quick one again this week. We don't have a guest, so we're going to kind of stream through the news. And before we get into the regular news, there's one bit of breaking news that I saw this morning. I guess YouTube is doing a multi-channel campaign to promote some of their bigger YouTube brands, and I would imagine this is a way to work on some retention of some of their stars who might be getting offers from elsewhere, huh?
Right, right. A lot of it has to do with, making people feel special. And what better way to do that than to feature them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that is what's happening. So I guess they're running ads on Mad Men, like TV ads for some of these people. So good way to connect audiences because it's funny. I've been whenever I speak in front of a large group of people or even a medium-sized group of people, I always pop up a few like YouTube stars or names to see how many in the room have ever heard of them. And there's
And
usually
nobody,
like in a room of 50, there's like one, right?
right.
I on a couple of occasions I've brought up the Lizzie Bennett diaries,
Mm-hmm.
and undoubtedly there will be a young woman in the crowd who'll be very
There you go.
enthusiastic, right?
Yeah.
But the rest are like, what? Who's that? Never heard
Yeah,
of him. So,
if she is an honor student, taking AP classes in high school, chances are she's a Lizzie Bennett Diaries
exactly.
fan. If they're adults, forget it. They
Right.
know nothing about it.
It's a very narrow niche. So it's very, very fascinating stuff. So it was
Yeah,
neat
I
to
mean,
see
I
that.
remember when Fred was popular, it was the same kind of thing. It was like kids that were like 11 to 13 knew all about Fred, and nobody else knew anything about Fred.
And now they're kind of done with Fred, right?
Yeah,
He had a movie though, right? Isn't there a Fred movie?
two movies.
Two
Nickelodeon.
movies.
Yep.
Wow.
He grew out of the character.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to be
Became an
Fred with a
adult.
high-pitched voice when you.
Yeah. Yeah.
so that is that. So we'll move on to our YouTube top charts, and there's a lot to talk about with YouTube this week. Top charts for March. I figured I would look at top views of March, and this might be an
These are
interesting.
non-Vivo views, right?
Right, exactly. So these are like, relatively speaking, people that did it on their own. So, or groups. Number 5 is T Series. It's an Indian music label, 126.7 million views. Number 4 is The Ellen Show, 127 million views. And I think what's interesting when you look at number 5 and 4 is how people are coming to this content. Ellen's stuff is undoubtedly getting pushed out from her TV show, right? You might
Right.
see it on TV and then want to share it, so you're going to her YouTube page and sharing it.
Right.
T Series is something you're going to go, right, to YouTube to listen to the songs you're looking for. So I thought that was an interesting dichotomy there. The rest of them are, I think this is a problem for YouTube, and let's go through them. Stampy Longhead Gaming Channel, right? He does a lot of
Sure.
Minecraft stuff. 175 million views. Disney Collector, the kid thing, 194
Right.
million views. PewDiePie, 286 million views. Is
What's
this stuff?
the problem? What's
Is
the
it
problem?
is this stuff sellable? I mean, look at the audience, right? It's kids, like little kids,
Right.
and then teenage gamers, which there's a market for, but these are
It's
their
a big
hottest
market.
shows, right?
Big market.
Yeah, I guess there is. And people are watching it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's
So
one segment, right? I mean, how do they?
yeah, I was involved in a advertising call last week, and that was a topic was, oh, well, that person has a lot of views, but they're a Minecraft channel, and it's like, you've got to, it's targeted. If you have something that appeals to Minecraft people, then that's a really valuable place to advertise. But
Right.
if you're not, then it's not.
Right. And that's the end of it. So interesting
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah,
it's
and I think we're going to see more of that. I think we're going to see a lot more of this, targeted niche stuff that does well because they can't get it anywhere else.
right.
You can't. There's, there's no Disney collector TV show,
That's true.
right?
Could never work on TV, right? There's not enough bandwidth for
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah. But 194 million views. There's a lot of cable channels that wish they had that kind of view, right?
There are, and I bet you they wish they could do that amount of views with the budget she probably has, which I would imagine that the toys she spent far more on than the production equipment,
Yep.
if she's even
For
paying
sure.
for the toys. So
Yep. There you go.
fascinating stuff. Speaking of paying for things, so AOL is, the big content provider, AOL.
Right.
They are trying to woo advertisers by having Nielsen ratings on its videos. And this is something, in the age of YouTube, YouTube is the Nielsen rating. The company that offers the video is measuring it. So Nielsen's doing some of this?
So here's the deal. Advertisers don't buy based on YouTube views. That marketplace doesn't exist. They do, but they don't.
Right.
They buy on Nielsen views. So if that's the only way you're going to get somebody to buy, then you better have some Nielsen views.
Now, how do you is Nielsen measuring all of YouTube? Like, how does one
Nielsen
get
says
measured?
they're measuring everything. That's great. I think it's going to get more refined. And also, do people want to take YouTube at their word? There are other measuring services out there. It's all new territory. It's the Wild West, and it's still working its way out. It feels like it's been here forever, but there's
Right.
so
It's
many
only been a year or
things
two.
that just aren't figured out yet. Like, what is a view? Like,
Right.
is a view when somebody watches 3 seconds of the video, or is it when they watch the whole video? They watch 75% of the video? What constitutes a view? That has not been decided yet by anyone of power in agreement. I mean, YouTube has a view, but we don't know what their criteria is for a view. It's not
Right.
something that's readily known. So
Right. And that's
we
why
saw-
they're looking at things like engagement and view length and commenting, but that's specific to YouTube, perhaps not necessarily something that's used in other platforms, right?
yeah. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Sue somebody?
You might. So the Maker Studios, there's this deal here where Disney's trying to buy them out.
Yep.
There's some former co-founders who are not happy
Correct.
about this, so they're trying to stop this or get in the middle of it. So there was a lawsuit dismissed. Disney says it's a done deal, but now there's another lawsuit. Tim, what's going on?
Yeah, another one of the early shareholders is suing, and it's because they feel that they were liquidated and that there was a stock switch on them. So we'll see what happens if this lawsuit has any merit or not. But they're not going away quietly with that much money around. So keep that in mind when you partner with somebody. Make sure you have the paperwork done, and there will be no trouble until money shows up.
That's right. That's always the way. And then it gets crazy.
Then there's trouble.
And then you got all this dilution, right? So you get in there, you got the angel investor, you got an agreement, and then all of a sudden the VC shows up, and next thing you know, you own like 10% of your company, and everyone's shares are diluted, right? So it's
Yep.
it is tricky territory. Get a good lawyer. That's how we should
There you go.
say that. The other thing you should do is learn some YouTube marketing from the Obama administration, because there's a lot of talk now over what Obama did in the days leading up to the deadline, probably of the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. A lot of young people were, as we all are, kind of reluctant to do things until the last minute. So they went off on a last-minute YouTube binge. They invited a bunch of YouTube stars to the White House. Tim, did you get invited to the White House?
I did not, but I talked to a few people that went, and one of them who was like, it was kind of near and dear to me, was Ben, who did Obama Girl, the creator of Obama
right.
Girl. And so when President Obama heard that the guy from Obama Girl was going, he asked, "Is she coming too?"
Michelle Obama is probably like, no, she's not.
Yeah.
No scandal in this one.
I don't know about that, but it's cool. I mean, I was very excited for all of them. I think the Fine brothers went, a few others. Michelle Phan was there, so yeah, it was cool.
Hannah Hart was there. I saw her there.
Yeah, I mean, the weird thing was that they did it on, like, was it Super Bowl Sunday or something, or the Oscars? It was like on a big event day, and it was like, that's kind of weird. But
it was kind of superseded there. But the fact, the proof is in the details, where they actually did manage to meet whatever goals they had set. And he also appeared on Between Two Ferns. Like, he did a lot of this stuff where young people
he took a little heat for that, right? For going on In Between Two Ferns, like. That's not very presidential, but hey, I thought it was great.
I thought it was great too. And you know what? It's not necessarily presidential to young people, but a lot of people didn't, or to older people, but for younger people, that's where their eyeballs are. And there was a lot of remember Bill Clinton playing the saxophone on Arsenio Hall back in our day, Tim. That was a big deal.
That was a big deal. It wasn't a haunted house though.
No, and he wasn't president yet, but he was campaigning. Or the boxers or briefs thing that came out on the MTV interview. I mean, there's always these moments where you question where things are, but you know what? I mean, the fact is, young people are not consuming content the way older people are, unless it's some kind of sporting event that's live. But that's a waning thing as well. So we'll see where that goes. Did you catch any movies this weekend?
I did, but I didn't see anything to do with a haunted house.
That's our number 5 movie, Haunted House 2. I didn't even know there was a 1. $8.8 million. Transcendence. That's the new Johnny Depp film. That bombed, huh? What's up with that?
Yeah, that's the one I saw. Great cast, great acting, little light on story, and just uneven. Like, and the first half of the movie really slow. I mean, just. It really felt like a B movie with A-list stars in it.
So the writing was bad.
The writing and the directing felt pretty bad, and the editing. Yeah.
So everything.
Yeah. Well, no, the acting was good. The acting was good. It was just.
And what is this, like? People are downloading their consciousness or something into the computer? Is that?
Yeah. Johnny Depp is dying. He gets poisoned at the beginning of the movie, and so he gets uploaded into the internet. Okay. And there's a terrorist organization that wants to stop that from happening. Got it. They're the ones that poisoned him in the first place. So what are you gonna do?
So the guy, you can't kill Johnny Depp. He just keeps coming back on you. So
there you go.
Yeah. So that's Transcendence. $11 million. Very disappointing. Number 2, I got my 2 and 3 screwed up here. Number 3 is Rio 2. That's a kids movie, right?
Yep.
All right, so there you go. And then number 2 is Heaven is for Real, which was a big deal on Deadline.com. Everybody was raving about it. So kid, has a near-death experience and then is like telling people what he saw in heaven. So another religious-themed movie. $29.3 million for the weekend. So I guess it's Easter, right? It's all about
that's not bad, man. 29.3.
Yeah, it's a fitting story to go with Easter, right? That's kind of
there you go.
The deal there. So there you go. And then number 1. Again, for this weekend was Captain America: Winter Soldier. $200 million. These Marvel things just print money, don't they?
Yeah, well, but 26 million for number 1 is kind of light.
Yeah. And I guess they said the Easter weekend typically is a light one, right?
Yeah, because people are going to church as opposed to the movies.
Right, exactly. Except us, we go to movies. Or actually, I never really left the house. I didn't leave the house all weekend.
You should have gone to Hawaii.
I would love to go to Hawaii. Can I go? Because
that's where you should do for Easter.
That is a good idea. That's not bad. See, Hawaii for you in California is like Florida for me in Connecticut.
That's right.
It's a short flight. Yeah.
There you go.
So Fox plans Animation Domination HD for prime time in 2015. And then Nix's.
What the heck is that?
Well, I guess they're going to. Animation Domination is they say is a spin-off of their Sunday cartoon block. This is according to Hollywood Reporter, and they're going to turn its attention to the younger skewing venues. So it looks like their Animation Domination has been like their cartoon thing. So I guess they're trying to get more younger people into their fold for entertainment. So they've always done well with animation on
They're
Fox.
just going to get rid of late night altogether.
Right. That's their plan. Well, it's hard. There's so many big names in the mix there, right? So
yeah, for sure.
So that's that. Canadian TV uses NHL and cheaper reality fare for doomsday planning. So I'm not sure what the heck that's about. But this is a Hollywood Reporter. I guess conventional Canadian TV networks are having a hard time getting ratings as the digital age is upon us. And Canada has a lot less people than the United States does.
10%. 10%.
Right. So there's fewer people to begin with, and production expenses for fewer people on TV broadcast are not necessarily less than they would be in the United States, right? You still have to buy all the equipment.
Bob. It's even with a Canadian discount, it's still
right. It's still there. So I wonder if we're going to see kind of like the end of broadcast in Canada first before. At least the way we know of broadcasting.
Yeah, I think things will change. But the flip side is that Canada has a lot of government funding for the arts.
That's true.
That's why you do get to see some high quality productions that are very Canadian specific, or maybe you don't get to see them because you're in the U.S. But they do spend a lot, and they have special programs. And in fact, we might have a guest on our show in the near future, Ben Williams, who's taken a new job in Canada to be involved with a production studio whose job it is to find those types of productions to spend the government's money on.
Well, that should be an interesting talk.
Yeah.
It'd be great if we could get some of that money here, right?
We just have to be Canadian.
We can move to Canada, and become Canadian too. I guess there's two.
There you go,
two
or have
qualifications.
some kind of partnership with a Canadian deal.
Gotcha. Well, I've got a couple picks of the week here, Tim.
I love to hear them.
What do you got? Gadgets here. So this is, I don't know if you can see this here. Can I? Are you seeing this?
Let's see.
Hard drive I'm holding here.
I can't see it yet. Hold it up more.
All right. I have it plugged in, so I may have to
closer to your microphone.
All right. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, it's not working. I have to disconnect it here. What I've got here, let me just eject it while I talk about it. I have a drive from Western Digital, and this is essentially a 4 terabyte portable hard drive.
4 terabyte.
4 terabytes. Now, what it is
I remember getting a 9 gig drive that I paid $4,000 for.
Right, back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Well, I remember getting a 1 gigabyte drive in 1995 for the low 95 price of $300 and something, and I thought it was the best deal ever.
In 95 or 2005?
95, 1 gigabyte, 1.3 gigabyte, and that was a lot of space. So here it is, Tim. This is it. Now, what's unique about this is that there's 2 drives in here, so it's running it's a little RAID array, striping. So you get SSD performance with 4 terabytes of storage. Now, the problem, though, of course, is that if you lose one of the drives, the whole array breaks down.
And how much was this?
This retails for about $300 and something bucks, but Western Digital sent this review unit to me to take a look at. Now,
that's pretty nice.
Isn't it nice? What's neat about it? There's no power cable. It's just Thunderbolt. So everything runs over Thunderbolt. It's got a little fan on here. It's like a fully self-contained RAID array. You can run them as the RAID 0, which is what I have it as right now. It's a little riskier in that mode because you could lose your data if one drive fails.
But if you have one drive and you lose your drive, then you lose your data.
Right.
Anyway.
Exactly. So you have that same thing. But what you could do, there's another mode. You can run it in RAID 1, which will allow you to mirror one drive to the other, so you have redundancy.
Oh, gotcha. That's nice. And do you still have the speed?
You get half the speed and half the capacity. So you get.
So you can still edit.
You can still edit. Oh yeah, without question. Yeah. It's a fast drive. The other option is you could have two terabyte drives. So you could get 2 drives and access them both individually on there as well. So
Cool.
Pretty neat little product, and I've been enjoying this thing. I've been using it as I call it the edit bay. So
Nice.
sits on my kitchen counter while I'm editing YouTube videos. The other thing I did this weekend was, I've been my wife's, as you can see, all this crap around here. My wife just keeps bringing all the junk that I review back up to the room here for me to deal with. So
Are you doing art now too? You're reviewing art?
I am not. I have
Because I just noticed some artwork over there.
Well, that's my my wife got me for the holidays. She took some of the photos that I took of the space shuttle and put them in frames for me, which was very nice.
That's nice.
But as you can see, I've not hung them up yet. So,
Yeah.
but I've got a lot of stuff. So I've been buying things and then reselling them, and I've been doing it on eBay or Amazon, and it's been kind of a pain to deal with eBay in particular because of the fees and everything else. So I went on Square, and Square's got like this marketplace, this little online web store.
You mean Square, like the thing that you swipe your credit card on?
Yeah, they got an online thing now. So I went on there and I created a little online store, and I'm selling the stuff that I bought. So it's not, I can't sell everything that I get to review because some of it are review units, and I'm
Right.
I have
didn't
agreements right.
Yeah.
But the things that I bought, which is a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
I've been reselling through there. I actually sold my Amazon Fire TV this morning, so that was great.
Oh, that's
and
good.
they only take like 2.75%, which is a lot lower than some of the other folks will take.
Yeah.
And I put a tip jar on there. So
Ooh.
you could, it's a lot cheaper than doing like Patreon. Like Patreon is what everyone's doing right now, right?
Yeah.
8% they take off the top, which is a lot, right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, people are coming to Patreon, but I don't think they're like browsing for people to give money to. You know
But
what I mean?
Square's 2%?
2.75%,
That's awesome, man.
which is
That's
very.
great.
I mean, it's very competitive.
Yeah, it's
and you get the
almost
little
as
reader.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. I do have a Bitcoin address too, which is I've been playing with that a little bit. But yeah, people can give me Bitcoin. No one has yet, but I put the little tip jar up there just because what the heck. And what's nice about being a product review channel is that I don't have to ask for money. People can just go and buy the old stuff, and that helps offset expenses just by buying the Amazon Fire or something.
There you
So
go.
I'm glad they're doing that. So two neat little things to check out, and I think they could be helpful for people's production workflows, especially this hard drive, because you could really, if you're running like Blackmagic stuff, you can run like the raw video onto this. It has enough speed to keep up, and a shit ton, excuse my language, but a boatload of beep that out. A boatload of storage to really
That's
make
great.
it worthwhile. Yeah,
That's
good
really
little
cool.
product there.
And
So,
$300.
yeah, $350 I think for this one. There's
Great.
there's a 2 terabyte and a 4 terabyte available, and no power. Just plug in the Thunderbolt.
Hey, you know what else you can get for under $350 that's really good that I'll give you a tip on? Let's say that you need a extra computer in the house,
Yep.
but you're only going to use it for surfing the internet
Right,
and nothing else.
right.
Chromebook. You can get a 14-inch
Yeah.
Chromebook for about $300.
Yep.
And if all you're going to do is be on the web and you're not going to do any editing, it's great.
They're awesome. Did you get one?
Yep, got one.
Which one did you get?
Awesome. I think it's a Samsung. I don't even know. It's
They're
just
nice.
a Chromebook, right?
Yeah, you're right. They're
Big
right.
screen, 14-inch screens, laptops, great to have around the house. You watch Netflix on it. It's awesome.
It's a great little device. I got the as a review unit. I bought it and sold it. The HP one, the little one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really nice. And here's my thing. Like I look at, because computers are
I
like
take it back.
commodities.
This one is the HP one.
Isn't
No,
it? Yeah, they make some nice.
HP.
They make nice. And you know what's nice about them is the keyboards,
Yeah.
because the keyboard on the HP on the 10-inch or whatever one I bought, the little one, was as nice as my MacBook Air keyboard, and that's a lot to say.
Yep.
I mean,
That's a lot to say.
it's good. Good
Apple
stuff.
needs to step it up, man.
They do. They've got they've got to come up with some new stuff.
June is close, right? We're going to have the Worldwide Developers Conference, and
It will.
I
It will
wonder
be upon us.
if we'll hear anything new and exciting.
Yeah. Speaking of Apple, we didn't hear at NAB about any Final Cut news, did we?
No, nothing.
I'm surprised because
They don't do NAB anymore. They don't do CES. They don't do Macworld. They just do the Worldwide Developers Conference and then a few of their own press events.
yeah, they've become very insular in how they do stuff. And
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, Apple is my production flow. I mean, I've got the MacBook Pro. I use the MacBook
Yep.
Pro, and I've got Final Cut Pro, and that's how I do my
Are,
stuff.
are you using Final Cut 7 or Final Cut X?
X.
Yeah.
And a lot of
I've
people
heard
did.
the new version of X is really good.
It's come a long way, and for me, I liked it from the get go. partly because I don't have a lot of, I'm about workflow. I like to try to be as efficient as possible, and I found I could be very efficient with 10 that I couldn't be with the old version. But a lot of people, though, like artists, want the I think 7 was more precise. That it's easier to kind of navigate it, and 10 is a little bit more iMovie like, and for me that was fine, but others might find
for sure.
better uses out there. So that is the end of our show today, Tim. A quick one, but I think we'll have a guest on soon, and we'll explore some issues in more detail. How's the Monday thing working for you? Good?
I like the Monday thing.
Good. So that is what we're going to continue doing. So you can tune in. First of all, we want you to subscribe to us on Stitcher and iTunes, or both or one or the other, and download the audio version of the show. The video version appears on our Google Plus page at behindthevideo.com. So the live episode is recorded there, and then you can watch it right after we do it, so you can see the video. And then we put the audio up a couple days later, so you can listen to the audio that way.
And if you are a Google Plus user, you can send us questions, and if we like you or know you or something, we might even invite you to join the show.
Which is great. We always need guests, so do that. And we are on Twitter, so Behind the Video on Twitter. And Tim, you got to send me the password for that account because I can't seem to find it.
Okay,
but we are on there, so you can hit us up there, Google Plus, and we'll probably get a Facebook page put together at some point when we get some more interaction. So that is going to do it for this edition of Behind the Video. We'll be back next Monday at noon Eastern. That's what, 9 Pacific, Tim?
That's correct.
So start your Monday morning off right with Behind the Video, and we are a wrap. All right, Tim.
Cool. Thanks, Lon.